Good, you're back. I'm Neom, and today's episode is about the Oneida Community. Please remember to leave a like, and help me hit that 2,000 subscriber milestone. The word of the day, courtesy of Viazard Captain, is hippopotamonstrosis quipedaliophobia. Its ironic meaning is the fear of long words. Specifically, the fear of one's potential mispronunciation of said word, thereby manifesting ridicule and precipitating a feeling of intense shame. But enough of that. Let's get into it. What makes the Oneida community special? Oneida was founded near Oneida, New York in 1848 by one John Humphrey Noyes. But in order to really appreciate what stands out about this community, I want to take it all the way back to this guy, Charles Grandison Finney. Finney was not only a strong voice for the abolition of slavery, but was also a prominent figure in the Second Great Awakening. He was, as Wikipedia puts it, a controversial American Presbyterian minister. He has been called the father of old revivalism and is also credited with popularizing a common practice in mainstream revivalism, the altar call. If you don't know what that is, look it up. His beliefs and religious practices fell into the sect that might be called charismatic. One of these beliefs, which is also one that earned him the label of controversial, was a doctrine known as Christian perfectionism, the belief that one can and should attain complete perfection even while still living on Earth, and that man was capable of living a life entirely without sin. Enter John Humphrey Noyes. Noyes was not only the son of a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, but also the cousin of Rutherford B. Hayes, who would later become president. It's fair to say that charisma probably ran in the family. When Noyes was 20 years old, he underwent a religious conversion after attending the teachings of Charles Grandison Finney. The revelation he had was so strong that Noyes dropped out of law school to attend seminary, first at Andover Theological Seminary, then at Yale Theological Seminary. It was there that he believed he made a huge discovery, that the second coming of Christ had already happened in 70 AD. This was when Noyesianism began to form. He managed to convince a few other people of his religious beliefs, one of which was George Cragin. Noyes, already married for 6 years, developed an attraction to the wife of George Cragin, and instead of divorcing his wife for cheating on her, he did the honorable thing instead. "Greetings, George, what's Cragin?" "So, hear this, thy spouse doth look much akin to a peach in these good days, and let me stop you right there. First of all, bad joke, and secondly, no one has said doth in like 300 years, so just stop the noise and get on with it. I was wondering if perhaps you'd let me, marry her." Sorry, Johnny boy, but she's already married. And for that matter, so are you." "Okay, I take your point, but I wouldn't just marry her. I would be marrying both of you, so you would both be married to both of us, and it would be like a complex marriage thing. So you and my wife could, and then I and your wife could also, I get it. Look, that just sounds a little weird to me, and I think that— No, it's not weird, it's just complex. You're the one that's making it weird. What are you, a weirdo?" "Well, when you put it like that." And so the practice of complex marriage was introduced into the mix and the four moved in together. Apparently, all you have to do to be a successful cult, or community, is to introduce weird and very non-traditional sexual practices, and they'll just start joining by the multitude. After beginning in just 1848, the Oneida community had grown to over 200 members by 1852, and eventually plateaued at around 300. Another odd practice that's worth mentioning as an aside was called mutual criticism. This was an event wherein everyone in the community, including John Noyes, would take turns pointing out every minute flaw they could possibly find in their peers. This was presumably in an attempt to quell any imperfections a member might have, allowing them to move closer to their goal of perfection. But anyway, back to complex marriage. The institution of complex marriage meant that anyone who joined was automatically inducted into the complex marriage, further meaning that anyone was free to engage in sexual activities with anyone else. However, in order for two people to have a child, they had to receive special approval from a council. This is where male continence came in. You see, the Oneida community didn't believe in contraceptives or birth control, which meant that all the responsibility of not accidentally having a child was all on the guy. But how do you prevent accidents when there are no contraceptives? Simple. You have the older generation of women, practice with the younger generation of men, so that there was less chance of a pregnancy. After all, they were all married, so it's not like it was weird or anything, right? Right? Wrong. The government of New York wasn't quite convinced, especially when it came to the Oneida community's whole age is just a number way of thinking. So the Oneida community ran afoul of some statutory rape laws and knew that they were about to be shut down. But instead of running for the hills or just trying to blend back into society, they thought, we have all this infrastructure and administration, why don't we put it to use? So they took the only logical option left to them. They officially dissolved the Oneida community into a joint stock company, which would soon turn into, drumroll please, Oneida Limited, one of the largest manufacturers of silverware. That's right, What started out as the weird sexual masochist cult fantasy of John Humphrey Noyes eventually would become Oneida Silverware, which is still to this day one of the largest flatware companies in the world. You should never endeavor to make mistakes, and especially not these mistakes. However, since making some mistakes is inevitable, it's important to remember that you can always reconcile yourself by starting a multinational silverware manufacturing company. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, ring the bell to be notified about new videos, and comment what you want to learn about next. I'm Neom, and I'll see you next time.